Hi friends, MD Vegan. On my Gentle Juicefasting day, I only drink liquids today. That's my food. Water, lots of water. I drink tea, coffee sometimes, and juices, plant milks too, yeah. Where the fiber is removed, or I have a broth, a nice pot broth, wonderful, mineralizing and so. But the main point is that I reduce my calories on a fasting day. That's a definition of fasting, reducing calories that you take in. And the next thing is putting digestion to rest. Digestion doesn't take place virtually on a fasting day. And so the whole metabolism, how I get energy, is turned upside down. That's a complicated process. I don't go into the details now. But we get energy in a more efficient way on a fasting day, let's say that. And but the main thing for me as a faster, I do it once a week, over time, every week, for years and years, always. That's part of my regular diet. I pause eating, so to say, on this day, on a regular term. So I change my diet with fasting. I do fasting, that is part of my diet. That's the main point. And the effect is that I cleanse myself from inside. It's a prolonged cleansing. Cleansing happens every night. If I rest, digestion has to pause. It's the best you don't eat at night, so the digestion can really pause. And then it can cleanse the liver and so on. It's a big cleansing process every night. But on a fasting day, I make that longer, over a whole day and 2 nights, the night before and after. That's a long day. It's a long fasting day, so to say. And so that's a really deep cleansing. And it can be very deep, so it can be very intense, and then I slow it down. I eat something. I have some fiber, so to say. Drink a smoothie, eat a light salad or a soup or so. It makes it easy to fast according to your needs. We call it gentle juice fasting in Tree Yoga. Tree Yoga is a yoga style where the flow comes into yoga. Now everybody talks about the flow now, but it comes from Tree Yoga, from Yogini Kaiji. And she told us about this kind of fasting where you do it in gentle, non-violent. Tree Yoga is also called the non-violent yoga style. Now more and more yoga schools have a vegan diet, and so it wasn't usual. You would wonder, what? Yogi, not vegan? How's that? Non-violence, yes? That's the yoga lifestyle. Yes, but only Tree Yoga, mostly. Many others were not brought vegan into yoga. So Yogini Kaiji is a great inspiration for that. She's a great fighter for the animals. Yeah, she's an activist for that. But she does it very gentle and very non-violently. And I like that because that is the most efficient way, I think, on the long run. Sometimes activism can also be very rush, but on the long run, I guess we win when we are gentle and non-violent. That's yoga teaching too. So non-violent lifestyle is my lifestyle, and that means non-violence means gentleness, compassion for myself, for my body, not pushing too far. So drinking only juices here, or a lot of not only juices, drinking juices, fresh juices on a fasting day is a wonderful way to get joy and pleasure and delight into the fasting day. The fasting day should be delightful all the time, because when I cleanse myself, the body and the mind, both, when I cleanse myself, I begin to heal. The body begins to heal itself. So fasting is also a step into making my body heal itself more. The body heals itself all the time, especially at night. Regeneration. The brain releases toxins. That's one of the main functions of sleep, that the brain can release the toxins. And the fasting day, all this is longer. So the cleansing, inner cleansing is important, and that makes it possible that inner healing gets stronger. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you don't have to see a doctor anymore. I mean, when you fast more than 1 day, for example, it's recommended to have a professional medical observation, because fasting can hurt oneself if you do it too long. But 1 day is considered as harmless. It's good. Everybody can do it. If you're healthy. When you're not healthy, of course, you always should have a doctor to supervise you. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I cannot say these things, but what I would do. Yeah, I would recommend always see a doctor if you have a problem with that. And when you have no problem with health, then you can do a fasting day without any problem, one day. Yeah. And of course, the day you have to feel great. I have to feel great on that day. That is the gentle aspect, the non-violent lifestyle aspect. So these juices make it so much fun. I can, my personal opinion, these are all stuff that is for everybody. But for myself, I would say fasting is very special to me because I always make a new juice recipe. Today I make a recipe with beets. And beets is one of the most exciting plants for making food, for creating new flavors. These are 2 small beetroots. I cure them, of course. I take care, cut out everything that's not fit for the juice, that's dirty or so. So that I get to know the plants somewhat when I prepare them for food. I like that aspect. Shopping, picking the right ones, out to nature, get the plants, preparing them at home, putting them together. Today I put them together with an apricot. It's an apricot beet juice. This is a whole bowl here, maybe 3 cups of apricots. These are some wild apricots here, some not wild, cultivated apricots. These are with a plain orange, bright orange color. They are cultivated a little bit more. They have a little bit different flavor. The fresh, the wild ones and the cultivated ones. The wild ones are a little bit smaller usually, and they have a little bit of more wild flavor, some more bitter tones, and so to make it easy, more variety. But I like them both. They're different, but they all have a little bit of sour flavor. I would say what I learned from apricots when using them in these recipes, the apricots have what I would call a sour flavor affinity. I don't know if that word makes sense somehow. To me, it means that if you effectively add another fruit that is also sour, all of a sudden it can be too sour. And that is especially with the apricot because the orange, for example, here, I use in this recipe also the same amount of oranges. That is also has also sour tones, but it has no sour flavor affinity. It is more sweet. Orange is more sweet, though there is some sour in the orange, of course. All fruit have sour, sweet balance, usually, most, not all. But the apricot is special. It has a sour flavor affinity. You have to be careful what else, what other fruits were combined with. For example, in this juice, I do not put a lemon. Usually I put my juices, oftentimes I like it together with lemon and ginger to boost the flavors, to make the nutrients more absorbable, to put them more of nutrients into my body. Lemon and ginger does that. But lemon is not in this recipe because of the sour flavor affinity of the apricot. But I have some ginger. The ginger is a wonderful to make the body, to make the nutrients and the other ingredients more effective. It boosts the effectivity of the other ingredients. It's a fire in the ginger. The fire is in the Indian philosophy is considered to do that, to open the fire of digestion, to make the body digest, to get the energy into the body, to cleanse it too. So ginger is very effective, one of the most effective spices we have. And so the last ingredient here, I'm going to show you, the 5th one, is mint. And mint is perfect for fire. It is, when you talk about these elements, not so usual in our culture, I know. The Western culture doesn't talk so much of elements in that way anymore. The traditional Indian and Asian medicine have the element. And in ancient Europe, we also have the elements. That were the first attempts to systematize science, to ask what everything consists of. What are the elements? What are the building blocks for everything? And find out then there are elements, what kind of elements do we have, different teachings, Asia, China, India, and Greek are the antiquity. They have all different ideas of kind of elements, but the element idea was prevalent. We have today the teaching that the elements are the chemical system of some 100 elements that are atoms, and so on. That is still prevalent teaching, but we don't talk so much about fire element, and so that is not a modern teaching. But it makes sense. It makes still sense in that way. So the fire would be in the summer. The heat of the sun stands for the fire, and it makes everything bloom, and prepares for the harvest. And the mint, here I have a couple of mint leaves, the tops, the tips, some of the stems, not much of the stems. That makes a little coarse flavor in the juice, so mint is not so good for juicing with the stems, so I take it out, not too little wooden. But the mint leaves, they have this cooling effect. And mint is well known for hot summer days. In Morocco, I've been there once. They always have big bags of mint leaves, fresh, and they make a tea with the hot water and the mint leaves, and they put some sugar in there. And that is what everybody does there. It's on the countryside. It's amazing. Mint tea is Morocco tea, and it's really cooling down. You drink it, and wow, it's really, you feel the cooling effect. So mint is a cooling herb, and that's really amazing. It's a wonderful flavor. It's a sharp flavor a little bit. You know the mint flavor, of course. In chewing gums, we know it, and it's very nice with sweet flavors. And the sweet flavors here are prevalent here in beet, but there is one exception. The sugar is hidden in the beet. It's the earth flavor. It's another element, the earth. It's hidden in the ground. Yeah, the earth, beet grows under the earth. Yeah, that's what we take from the beet, usually, the beetroot. And when you have something under the earth, like beets, carrots, and so, there's usually a lot of sugar in that. There's a lot of sugar in that beetroot. But you taste the sugar so much. The beet tastes like earth, very heavy flavor. But when you put a fruit to the beet, especially a sweet and sour fruit, all these sugars hidden in the earth flavors are coming out and creating the most amazing flavors. So I try that now with the apricot and the mint. And the orange is rather a neutral element in the beet juices. So when you put oranges together with the beet juice, you juice that together, then you get more juice. It still tastes like beet, but a nice flavor of the beet, not the earth flavor of the beet, not the dirt flavor of the beet. With the orange, you get a delicious beet juice. Just beet and orange is a perfect beet juice, but it tastes like the earth element. It tastes like the beet. Whereas when you put other fruit to the beet, like a mango, that's the best example I know, you don't take the beet anymore. The mango completely transformed the beet flavor into a wonderful candy kid flavor, as I called it once. I have all these names because I like the flavor so much, and they're really very expressive flavor, very strong flavor, this candy kid flavor. But it transformed the mango. But not so the orange. The orange is a neutral element for the beet juices, the beet flavors. So I make the juice longer with the orange, the beet juice longer, and the new flavor comes from the apricot. That's for the flavor of the beet juice. I want to see how the beet plays together with the apricot and the mint. So it's basically a mint apricot beet juice. That's what I call it. And the orange makes it longer, a little bit nicer, and the ginger heats it up, makes it more becoming, so to say. But it's basically a mint apricot beet juice. Let's see what happens when I make it, and then I show you. Hey, this is my juice today. It's 1 liter, roundabout, and it looks beautiful. It has a first side here, the red color. That's the typical beet color. You can have it in shades, in different shades of red, lighter, darker, more brilliant. That depends on what you put into it. But it's always this kind of beet beet color, red, when you put the beet into something. It's a very predominant color. And you see the earth colors have that power, that strength to be all pervasive. The texture is a little bit thick, creamy, and that depends on of course, the fruit you put in. For example, I have oranges that make a juice runny usually. And oranges are easy to juice, classic juice, it's very runny, watery. Beets can be runnier or thicker, depends on the juices, on the beet itself. Fresh, crunchy, young beet fresh beet. It is a relatively light, runny juice. The beet is older, a little bit drier, it's wrinkled, and so you get a little creamier and more a little bit bitter juice. Juicing is nice. You can use all kinds of ingredients when they're a little bit more bitter, or you still use them, and you wouldn't put them in a salad anymore. That's also good with juicing. I can use all kinds of ingredients. They don't have to be so beautiful. You just cut a little bit around and so wash them, so it's still good to juice. But the juice is then a little bit thicker. And the apricots, yeah, they make a little bit of thicker juice usually. Apricots are they're soft, have soft flesh, and that, like pears, they make a creamy juice. So it's a little bit of creamy juice. It's also runny because the oranges, and the ratio is the beets is a veggie, and I have a double amount of fruit here, oranges and apricots. The beet is very strong. Usually I double the amount of fruit adding to the beet. You can also make an only beet juice that is also like kind of alcohol, like a little, like a little drink. Beet with ginger. I tried it once. It's amazing. It's amazing good. It's like a red wine. A friend of mine said that once. But this is a juice with a lot of fruit to make this a very gentle flavor to explore these wonderful beet flavors and with the apricots and the mint, of course, but that is usually not considerable for the texture. This is also small, some green leaves. They more give the flavor, not the texture. So it's a thick juice, pretty creamy. That's nice. And now I taste it. Let's see. Wow. Interesting. It has this sour character from the apricots. Absolutely, and it would not be good to put more sour in that with a lemon. Usually I said that. I put a lemon into that like that, but not here. The apricot has really a prevalence of sour flavor, affinity as I call it, and that really carries through in the juice. It tastes a little bit sour. I was surprised, but that's nice. It's a nice sour flavor without a lemon, just the orange and the apricot and the beet. Yeah, and I will taste one more time. I was a little surprised. Let's see. One more time. Sometimes I need a little bit to get used to the flavor to really taste it. Let's see. One more time. Yeah. Wonderful. It's a very pleasant sour flavor. Now I taste also the mint, of course. You can put a lot of mint in there. See there, it's nice, not predominant. And also the ginger I taste. Yeah, but very nicely, not predominant. Yeah, usually the flavors I would like to have in my recipes are balanced. No one is predominant. It makes a new flavor. And this is here very nice. And yeah, you could try it. I recommend this juice. I like it. But I have to drink it all, yeah, to really know what it tastes like. Yeah, the first impression is nice, is great. That's what it looks like. You see the creaminess here, but it's a wonderful one, wonderful creaminess. If you like that kind of creaminess in the juice, I do. And I will drink it in small sips over a time, like a meal, eating slowly, because as I said, there's no digestion needed. The fiber is not in the juice anymore. That's a juice, as opposed to the smoothie, where the fiber is in the smoothie usually. The digestion takes place. It's from that point, it's more healthy to have a juice, a smoothie. But on a fasting day, there's a difference. Yeah, on a fasting day, the metabolism turns upside down, and you fast. It's not kind of regular food day. On a food day, I usually make a smoothie. On a fasting day, the juices and yeah, maybe that's the thing here is I made already other juices with apricot and beet, two. One is just apricots, beets, and orange. The next one is with basil. You can check it out. And this one now is with mint. And it's very interesting how these flavors evolve. I check for little pairings in the base. That's apricot and beet here with all kinds of variations. And the next time comes the next flavor experience. And it's very, very nice to explore the ingredients like that. And the fasting days are wonderful for that, because on a fasting day with no digestion and so, drinking it slowly, enjoying it more, the flavor, how it feels in the body, how it enfolds the nutrients. Yeah, that allows me to taste it more. The senses are also more aware, more alert. Yeah, I feel more, I hear more, I'm more sensitive on a fasting day. It's perfect for being creative. If you feel everything and the mind is clear already, it's clarified, you know. In the beginning of fasting, you can have a little bit of issues. It can be very strong. Cleansing can be, purification can be a little bit, a challenge. Slow down, I would say. I would slow down to keep the overall feeling delightful. Because when you are happy, the body feels, the energy flows freely in the body, and the healing can take place, and the energy is blocked. If you have a shock, accident, a pain, energy flow blocks, healing stops. It's an emergency then. You want to avoid the emergencies. You want to make it always flowing, easy, gentle. Then the healing can take place, and the flavor is a part of that. The well-being, feeling good, and yes, that's nice on the fasting day. Tomorrow I will eat again, and then I will begin slowly, very slowly, because my body wants to have more energy than it needs on the next day, because the body is used to eat more energy than on a fasting day. It's a reduction, it's a retention, and then the body tries to trick me and I eat more. I want to eat more. That's not good. I have to really be focused on the next day, on the day after that, also very strong, to really deliberately eat less than I want to. I always want to eat more the next day, and I know that my body wants to trick me. I don't give in. I eat very slowly, and then the third day is always safe. Yeah? But the first 2 days after even one fasting day, to me, I still feel that urge. The body wants to trick me to eat more. No, that won't happen. I'm now aware. It took me some time, I have to say, but everybody is different. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy, and also maybe you want to try fasting, or just also these recipes. This is, to me, it's very interesting knowledge about the ingredients, how they play together. That is also used, I also use that in making regular recipes, food that I eat after a fasting day or before, because to make a recipe, you have to understand how the ingredients play together, their qualities, and so that's so very helpful. Anyway, thanks for watching again. If you like my video, subscribe. MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And there's a Facebook page extra for the fasting. It's called Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. Comes from Tree Yoga, of course. And you can be a member there. Watch the videos there, all the recipes, moon fasting calendar for the best fasting days, but that's all special stuff, not so important. But every day, one day a week over time. That's my rule, and that's very gentle and most effective. Thanks for watching again. Hope to see you soon.